TV 15 on Facebook. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. Stay tuned for the Splash Live. It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you so much for joining us. I am your host, Kevin McIntosh. With major upgrades underway at West Bloomfield Middle School, it includes a brand new turf football field. I actually had a chance to stop by and look at the new multi-use space to learn why this addition was so important.
We had a lot of issues with the old field. The principals would call us quite frequently and tell us about some issues with, divots in the field. There was a lot of weeds on the field, and obviously you don't want to spray a lot of chemicals with kids out here running around. And the other big issue is that, and it's typical with any grass field, is it's difficult to grow the grass because the growing seasons are the fall and the spring, and that's when you have kids out there running around trampling it. So it's really hard to get the grass to grow. And the other issue was ongoing maintenance costs of keeping up a grass field and having to mow it, having to stripe it. There's a lot of costs associated with that. And lastly, it was just the playability. Obviously, we get a lot of rain here in Michigan, so we were not able to use it a lot because of the issues with mud and the water accumulating on the surface.
Jamie further discusses the current status and the benefits of the new turf.
The contractors are very close to having the field done. They actually put in the 40 tons of crumb rubber last week. They still have to disassemble the bridge that they use to cross over the track and to clean up some of their equipment over there, but they're getting really close to having it done. We did start it a little early. We started on May 13th with the hopes of being able to have it done before fall sports. The wonderful thing is the Shaw Game On is the company that we went with for the turf. They have 15 projects going this summer in southeastern Michigan. Ours was the number one out of the gate. So by being first, we were able to ensure that everything was manufactured and brought out here and put in place. And so they were able to complete the job.
We learned about how the West Bloomfield School District incorporated the input of the students for the new field.
Before we actually started the field project, we were able to get a few designs out to the students to vote on, and the students picked their favorite field design, so we incorporated that, which was pretty cool to be able to involve them in the project. Another thing that's nice about the Shaw Game On product is that they're able to tuft the color into the carpet fabric, whereas on a normal artificial turf field, every time there's a color change, those two colors have to be sewn together. But they have a patent on it where they're able to stitch actually weave all the colors into the textile, which allows us to do things that you used to not be able to do. So here you can see, obviously, we have our new Lyle the Crocodile border, which just adds a little pizzazz to the project, a little fun, and it ties in with our new branding with the district.
And the district expects the field to be fully ready by the start of the school year. If you want the latest in updates, visit the West Bloomfield School District on Facebook at West Bloomfield Schools for more. And the first day of school for the 2025-2026 West Bloomfield School District is Monday, August 25th, 2025. To make back-to-school preparations easier, the district has also prepared an online package for the parents and families to go ahead and download for each student. This must be done before school starts. If you need help with your login or password, contact your school or visit the Power School help page directly on their website, wbsd.org, for more. Stay connected with what's happening in Greater West Bloomfield by signing up for our weekly newsletter, by the way. This is the perfect time for you to sit and do that. If you're watching on Civic Center TV right now, scan that QR code that you see on your screen to head to our sign-up page. Then check your inbox at the end of the week to catch up on everything going on in your hometown. Our team highlights the top stories and best programs each and every week so you don't have to miss a thing. And remember, you can always head to our website to catch all of our stories. That's civiccentertv.com for more. And calling all local food lovers every single Tuesday, now through September, Civic Center in West Bloomfield turns into a foodie hotspot with Food Truck Tuesdays. And today is Tuesday, so let's enjoy it, from tacos to vegan dishes and fresh brewed coffee. There's a new flavor to discover each and every week. I actually stopped by recently to find out why this midday event is a hit with locals and vendors alike.
Well, at first I was just returning books, but then I saw the sign saying that they have food trucks today, so I was like, let me take a look. And then I got me a case of birria, and I looked at the frozen lemonade, so I was interested, so I wanted some.
Food Truck Tuesdays launched in May and runs through September, bringing local flavors straight to the Civic Center.
Well, today actually we're serving a special item that we did for Juneteenth called the Harriet. And it's with roasted shiitakes. It's got red cabbage, some pickled onions, and cucumbers, and a garlic aioli, and that's been really, really popular. So we're featuring that today.
We have tons of items. A lot of the popular ones that we get are the walking tacos because they're easy on the go. Kids love those. Our other popular item is our birria, quesabirria. We have birria enchiladas, which not many people have. So they're like, what is that? And they taste them and they're amazing. Tacos from all different types of meats, but quesadillas, burritos, anything you can think of.
And you can even get your caffeine fix. Bowie's Coffee is parked here each Tuesday all summer long.
Yeah, especially for hot days. We have frozen lemonades, iced lattes, hot lattes, smoothies, cold brew, chai, kombucha. So any drink that you need to cool down or warm up, we have it.
With food trucks scheduled through September 30th, it's a perfect way to discover new food and support small businesses.
I think it's a good upstart for businesses, putting it in a community where everyone can visit or do events, because the rec center is all the way over there. So having people come from the rec center or to the library is a good opportunity for this business to start booming.
By combining convenience and community, Food Truck Tuesdays highlight West Bloomfield's family-friendly approach to public programming while having a lasting impact on local entrepreneurs.
West Bloomfield is very close to where we're out of and where we typically operate from. So from doing this, we've actually earned some regular customers who kind of found us here, and now they routinely come and see us, every week when we're in Waterford or Clarkson area. So
we've gotten to do a lot of school events for Bloomfield Hills, West Bloomfield, Waterford schools, just from the word of mouth and participating. A lot of the PTOs and everyone has reached out, which has been really awesome.
We've gotten a lot. So we do a lot of catering as well on top of, going to events and stuff. So the nice thing about it is that we do hear oh, I tried some of your stuff at this event or whatever. And they're and we want to do some catering. And that's been probably one of our biggest things, is that we've gotten a lot of caterings for that. And it's been amazing.
And Food Truck Tuesdays have something for every plate. And they're bringing the community together one bite at a time, by the way. The fun continues every single week through September, so please don't miss it. Going on today until 1:30 p.m. Just in case you are not able to make it today, come out again on Tuesdays. Those smoothies from Bowie, Forget about it. Some of the best around. So go ahead and stop by Civic Center in West Bloomfield, located where the West Bloomfield Police, Library, and Recreation Department is located. In 2024, the number of animals entering shelters nationally was down slightly from 2023, but despite the slight decrease in intake, many shelters, including those right here in Michigan, are facing a capacity crisis due to animals staying longer before being adopted, especially large dogs. So here to tell us more from a local perspective, joining us right now, Chief of Oakland County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, we have Joni Toole. Thank you for being here, Joni.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Yeah, this is a very interesting subject that we came across here at Civic Center TV, and I immediately reached out to you to get your perspective on it. Now, the article and the story pretty much talks about it on a national level, like I said, but we want to get to the local level as well. But how does the national trends of increased length of stay and the capacity crisis for shelters manifest specifically with the Oakland County Animal Shelter?
Well, we've been seeing it since COVID. And after COVID, it got even worse. Trying to get into a vet or trying to afford a vet visit. By the way, this is my friend. Oh, gee, now I can't remember her name.
Chiquita? Is that? I just got the word Chiquita. There we go. Hi, Chiquita.
Chiquita. This is my friend Chiquita. She was actually found in the middle of a street. But we're seeing a huge trend of owner surrenders. And what's happening at the shelter level is that shelters are delaying intake of those types of animals, the owner surrender.
And I can understand the context as well. We just quick, brief technical interruption. But I pretty much understand that as well with the finances that owners are taking on now and then having to do that with taking care of their dog and pet care. I imagine there's a lot of things. But besides that as well, Joni, are there any other unique challenges that you all are facing from the Greater West Bloomfield or just Oakland County area in general?
Well, because we have to limit our intake on owner surrenders because we're obviously packed, then that in turn creates more abandoned animals. So if they can't surrender their pet to a local shelter and they have to get rid of that pet, then what do? Community resource it is, I think, the way of the future right now. In fact, we have some resources on our website. If you go to oakgov.com, pet adoption, you can find some resources there, food banks, low-cost clinics. But because of this increase of animals, we're finding hard to keep up with what we have here. And because in Oakland County, we do more medical to our animals than any other shelter in the state of Michigan, it really has affected us because we're trying to do too much with too little.
Wow. And once again, I'm glad that we have you on here because this is an issue that many people may not even be aware. I wasn't necessarily aware of until I came across this article as well. Now, with that being said, here's a question. For those who may just be hearing about this, want to help but may not have the capacity to adopt, how can residents best contribute beyond just adopting a pet?
Well, what they can do is they can go to our Facebook page and share the animals here with their feed, the adoptable animals, get them more exposure. They can volunteer here at the shelter, help walk dogs, comfort cats. They can also donate goods to the shelter. They can donate food. They can donate towels and blankets that help us out. But it's going to take the whole community to turn this thing around, I think. Yeah. And the more resources that we can provide for these people, the better.
I would agree, too. And I'm glad I asked you that as well, because I'm thinking just adoption is the best thing. But, yes, I would imagine donating some items, some supplies, some food as well to help kind of, allocate some of the resources that you all are giving out as well to kind of help out with that. I imagine it's helping out a lot. And with me right here live on the Splash, by the way, Chief of the Oakland County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, Joni Toole, just talking about the national topic of more pet owners surrendering their pets, and as a result, how local pet adoption centers and animal control centers are reaching capacity as well. Now, we briefly talked about it, Joni, in regards to reasons, but I want you to reiterate again some of the most common reasons that pet owners are surrendering animals, and then how do you all work with these pet owners to prevent this possibly?
Okay, well, our biggest one is moving. A lot of people come to us and say, I have to move. I can't take my pet. We can put you in touch with lawyers that are aware of pet-friendly living arrangements. If you're getting kicked out because of your pet, they can help you in that regards as well. Another thing is they can't afford the pet. They can't get into a vet. It's too expensive. They don't have enough money to pay for food. So we can hook that person up with some low-cost clinics. We can hook them up with some food banks in the area. And so that helps that way. So those are the two major ones that we see. And those are kind of the ways that we combat that. But there's, it takes resources. And again, if anybody's out there that thinks they can be a resource for that, an attorney who deals with, animal law and, helping protect renters' rights, reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to pass that along to people that are having an issue or getting kicked out because of their animal.
I love that. Yeah, put that message out there right now for our audience and anyone who may know someone. That way, that's what we're actually here for, to get that out to the community as well. And you brought up a very good point, because I'm thinking it's all financially related. But like you said, people could be moving, downsizing, and then they just don't allow pets. So I completely understand that. And in some cases, it could be specific pets as well. So with that being said, if I'm not mistaken, I see that according to the data, large dogs specifically are staying in shelters a little bit longer. Are there any specific programs or initiatives that you all have in place to help the large dogs who are staying longer?
Yes, it's harder to place the large dogs, and especially the pit bulls and pit bull mixes. Sorry, my friend's going a little nuts here.
It's okay.
But yes, the pit bulls and the pit bull mixes, a lot of places do not allow them. But the attorney that we hook people up helps to fight that, helps to combat that. And then they also work with local places that are pet friendly and that will take them in. But yes, that's a huge issue with the bigger dogs, and especially the pit bulls, the Rottweilers, the Mastiffs. A lot of places do not want them in their apartment complexes, mobile homes, that type of thing.
Yeah, and I get it. And like I said, in the perspective of people downsizing, going to apartments and things like that, completely understand. It's unfortunate, but we're glad that you all have the resources and the information to help people in those situations as well. And with me right here on the Splash Live, Chief of the Oakland County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, Joni Toole, talking about more pet owners surrendering their dogs or animals or cats in general, and how it is affecting our local animal controls and animal shelters as well. A couple things I just want to inquire about before we let you go. The volunteer opportunities that you all have, if I'm not mistaken. Can you just talk about that and how the volunteers make a tangible difference in the lives of these animals?
Oh, sure. We have a core group of volunteers that come here every day, and that's 365 days a year. So they're very dedicated. They get the animals out, walk them, make sure that they get some interaction, some love. We also have a wonderful core group of cat volunteers that work with the cats to help them calm down, to help them get through this situation that's not so nice until they can find their new home. But I do want to mention one thing that I've always been an advocate of, and that is if you are looking to get a pet, please do your research. We can stop a lot of this if people would do their research.
Good point.
Check with their apartment complex, check with their mobile home areas, and see what they allow and what type of breed would fit into your household. That's a number one thing right there.
Oh, yeah. No, doing the research on the breed of animal and, different things that, they may require as well. I think that goes a long way. It kind of helps you plan for the future as well. Yeah, I'm glad you explained that as well.
It does.
So, lastly, any long-term visions for the Oakland County Animal Shelter and its relationship with our local community?
Well, I think it's going to be pushed into more of a resource for people. And that's kind of the path that we're going down. In all of our meetings and all of our gatherings, our goals are to help our community. And we see our community right now is really hurting. They're having to give up their pets. They don't have a place to give them up to. So we're going to have to move in that direction if we're going to help our community.
I completely understand as well. Lastly, anyone who want to find out more information, want to adopt, volunteer, website, phone number, any information that they can go to?
If they can go to our website, it's oakgov.com/pet adoption.
Perfect. oakgov.com/pet adoption. oakgov.com/pet adoption. Once again, Chief of Oakland County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, Joni Toole, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate that. Once again, if you do need that information, want to find out more about pet adoption or volunteering at the Oakland County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, go directly to their website for the resources and information. That's oakgov.com/pet adoption for more information. The People First exhibition, hosted by Gesture Human Services, features artwork by participants in Gesture's Creative Expressions program, which collaborates with local organizations such as the Birmingham Bloomfield Art Center and Detroit Symphony Orchestra to offer creative opportunities for individuals with disabilities. And with us on the Splash Live right now, VP of Clinical Services for Gesture Human Services, we have Vanessa Haviland. Thank you so much for being here, Vanessa.
Having me.
Thank you. And such a unique event that you all have going on, giving people in our local community with disabilities an opportunity to express themselves creatively. I love that. Now, can you just give us an overview of the People First exhibit and what inspired it to begin with?
Yeah, absolutely. So the People First exhibit is really a collective of art pieces that 45 of our artists have done over the past year and a half. Here at Gesture Human Services, we put people first, right? Mm-hmm. That's one of our core values. And so every quarter, every 3 months, we do a survey and we want to see what types of art activities, music activities our participants are interested in. And then we go out into the community and we find artists and we find musicians who will help expose our participants to their interest. So the Detroit Symphony Orchestra has been very instrumental in the development of musical talents for our participants, as well as the BBAC. They've done a lot of programming for us, allowed our participants to explore paint as well as clay tile making and glazing. So it's just been a really wonderful experience for the people that we serve, to have their voices heard and to have their needs met through our art program.
Well said, and it just lets them know that they are not forgotten as well. They are just as important, and we want to hear and see everything that they want to express as well. And with that being said, let's get into the actual information of it. Can you give out the exhibition dates, reception information for people who want to find out more or know about what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. So our People First exhibit is coming to the Janice Chiric Gallery, which is located at the J in West Bloomfield, and that's from August 17th through September 17th. We do have an opening reception that is scheduled on August 17th from 1 until 4 p.m. And then we also have a Gesture Awards night that's going to be held September 11th at 5:30 p.m. at the gallery.
Perfect. All right, so we got that information of who, what, where, when. Now I want to get back into this actual program, right? Gesture's Creative Expressions program. Tell me a little bit more about what's the actual mission behind this program and how is it reflected in this exhibit?
Yeah, so People First is really about making sure that our that our participants have a way to let their voices be heard, right? And so a lot of times it's about sitting back and listening to the needs of individuals, and also being able to experience the world from their viewpoint. And so with the Creative Expressions program, again, we're working with different artists. We're exploring different media. So you'll see things such as AI integrated art. You'll see some stop animation films that were created, again, with artwork from our participants from all different levels.
Wow. Okay. We're talking about digital art as well then, correct? Okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I'm thinking just paint. I'm thinking sculptures. We really getting creative here. I like that. I like that. So we have different people who have different ways to express themselves through different channels of art. Let's get into how some of the participating artists were selected. What kind of support did they receive as well?
Yeah, so we do have some individuals who have been working on building their skill set over the last couple of years. And we did receive some funding from the Jewish Fund Teen Board, as well as from the Applebaum Family Philanthropy. And so those funders have allowed a couple of our participants to really expand upon their creativity and really develop their skills. And so you'll see some photography. You'll see an individual who has written a book. Right. So we'll have the information for the book there, as well as some individual painters. So it's going to be a really nice combination between group art as well as the individual artist.
Ooh, that's nice. I love to just soak in art. I love that we all have different perspectives by looking at the same thing. That's just life in general, and it's all reflected through art. I love that type of stuff. I'm actually here for it. With me right here, by the way, on the Splash Live, VP of Clinical Services for Gesher Human Services, Vanessa Haviland, talking about the upcoming People First exhibition, art exhibit that'll be August 17th through September 17th at the Janice Cherritt Gallery as well, just supporting our local residents with different mental and physical disabilities as well. With that being said, how do you feel like this exhibit actually challenges the public perception about artists with those mental and physical challenges?
A lot of times, I think the public forgets that individuals with intellectual disabilities and individuals with severe and persistent mental illness are really our friends. They're our family. They are our neighbors. And I think that this exhibit allows our community to really understand that individuals with diagnosis are part of our community. And this world is a better place because everyone is in it, right? It takes all different types of abilities to make the world what it is, to make the world a better place. And coming to this exhibit, I think, will offer the community an opportunity to really engage with the artists, especially if you come to our awards night, because you'll be able to meet some of our artists.
Okay, perfect as well. And that was going to be my next question, essentially, how can some of the visitors engage with either the artists or the exhibit as well? But you answered that. But besides just the artwork being there, are there any other features of the event, workshops, guided tours, artist talks, anything of that nature?
So the gallery is typically open from 1 to 4 p.m. So beyond our initial opening from 1 to 4 on August 17th, the galleries are open Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. and Thursday from 11 a.m. till 7. And if you want more information about the exhibition, you can call 432-5579, which is the number for the gallery. If you are a local artist or you are a community member who wants to be more involved with our Creative Expressions program, you can contact Gesher Human Services directly by calling 947-517-6895.
Perfect. Thank you again for that information. We appreciate it. And for people like myself who may be interested in it, but possibly may not be able to make the event, how can the public support the artists featured in this People First exhibit?
Yeah, so you can come to our website, which is geshermi.org, and you can make a pledge. You can donate to our wish list. And just know that 100% of what you donate to our program goes back to support our program. Some of our individuals who have developed their own small business, such as Ken Rosenthal, who has Exposures by Ken as his small business name. If you go to his website, which is exposuresbyken.com, and you can purchase items directly from his website as well, and 100% of those sales go back to him.
Perfect. Nice. And while we have you, lastly, Vanessa, if you don't mind, the when, where, and why people should attend the event as well before we let you go.
Okay, so when is August 17th through September 17th at the Civic Gallery at the J in West Bloomfield. And our People First exhibit really will give you an opportunity to understand the perspectives that people with disabilities have and allow their voice to be heard.
Well said. I agree with that. And we want to thank you so much for putting on this effort for our local residents as well, and for taking the time to speak with us as well. Once again, VP of Clinical Services for Gesher Human Services, Vanessa Haviland. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, and for more information, again, you can visit their websites. That's geshermi.org, GESHERMI.org. Or once again, you can call the Janice Cherrick Gallery at 248-432-5579 for more. Consumers Energy emphasizes its dedication to providing 24/7 reliable energy at affordable rates, serving continuously with both gas and electric services. Recently, we spoke with Tori Rombach, Energy Assistant Manager for Consumers Energy, to give us more details on how we can save and take advantage.
Tori, thank you for being with us today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, happy to have you on to talk about the Consumers Energy Assistance Program that helps provide reliable and affordable energy rates for people in the local community. So for those that may be in need of these services, just take us through the initial portion of how people get access to some of the relief on their consumer's energy bill.
Yeah, absolutely. Here at Consumers Energy, we are really excited to offer various options for customers who may be needing some help with their bills, and really wanting to provide resources and tools for customers to manage their energy use and get them help that's available right here in Michigan if they are facing challenges. So a couple of really helpful resources for customers. They can dial, text, or chat with Michigan 211. So if you call 211, you'll be connected with a representative who will help you navigate through whatever you're facing, and they offer resources or will connect you with agency partners who can offer resources for you. Another option, if you're interested in applying for the State Emergency Relief Program, you can go right to their website and apply. So their website is newmybridges.michigan.gov. That's newmybridges.michigan.gov, and apply there, see if you qualify, and then you would receive a payment rate to your bill.
And this can be a significant amount of money that helps people out in the community, providing up to $500 in support per utility service. And so from the consumer's energy standpoint, what other work besides this sort of program does this particular utility have in place to help people throughout the year that, look, sometimes it's because of the summer season, you're running your air conditioning more and that hikes your bill a little bit. Sometimes people just end up in some financial strain throughout the year. So how does Consumers Energy work with its customer base throughout the calendar year to help them when times can get a little bit tough financially?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering the same thing. So we, like I mentioned, are committed to helping customers and helping them navigate through any challenges that they're facing. We offer various programs for customers, including flex pay for your bills. You can choose your own due date. We offer different resources for customers to reduce their energy usage through a free home energy analysis, where a tech can come right to your home for free, analyze your home energy, and give you some different options and ideas for how you can cut back on your day-to-day usage and bills with different resources, smart thermostats, and things like that. So lots of options. If you're curious about those different options, you can visit our website, consumersenergy.com/assistance, to find out more.
And for so many of our local utilities, whether it's, in your case, Consumers Energy with electricity or with gas or with other resources from our local communities like water and sewer services, so much of the focus in recent years has been on making the infrastructure better so it makes the billing more affordable for customers. What's Consumers been doing in recent years to help bridge those gaps from the infrastructure standpoint that ultimately does trickle back down to the local customers?
Absolutely. There's, like I said, lots of partnership going on with different companies that are helping to upgrade customers' homes. So we're always looking for different opportunities where we can jump in and partner with different groups and provide resources and braid funding with customers with the programs that we offer, and help support customers in the best way that we can.
And all this can be found on their website as well, consumersenergy.com. You can also find some very helpful tools on consumersenergy.com/offers. You mentioned earlier on some of the ways people can get some of the assistance through the State Emergency Relief Fund, but there's also some other more personalized offerings too that can be found on your offers page, including a new customer tool. It's an online platform called My Personalized Offerings. Tori, how may this help customers as they take a look at their bill, they take a look at what they're getting from Consumers Energy, and maybe be able to tweak things around a little bit?
There are so many options that customers have to help in challenging times, and I think that can be really overwhelming for customers. So I'm really excited that our company dedicated time and put together this new tool for customers where you can actually log in and put in some information about your income or your personal situation, and the tool will suggest options that are best for you, that you would qualify for, that would make sense for your personal situation at home. So really excited, want to encourage customers to go ahead and check that out, and see what makes sense for them and their home to help reduce their bill cost.
Access to the state emergency relief dollars recently became underway. You can find more information in a couple of different places. For West Bloomfield residents, there is a page dedicated to this on wbtownship.org. You can also go to Consumers Energy's website on consumersenergy.com for more information as well. There are some guidelines. It's one-time federal funding for those applying whose household income is 150% of the federal poverty level or below. So there are certain qualifications, but all of this can be found either through the link at wbtownship.org or on consumersenergy.com. Tori Rombach is with us on the Splash Live today, Energy Assistant Manager with Consumers Energy. Tori, before we let you go, what any other information that you have on how people can access these resources or get in contact with Consumers Energy if they have any more questions or are in need of some assistance?
Yeah, thank you. We would love to hear from our customers. Like I mentioned before, our website is a great resource for customers, consumersenergy.com/assistance. Key thing I'd like to point out is that these funds don't last forever. So, if you are starting to experience challenges and you recognize down the road you may need some help with your bill, we really want you to reach out now. So call 211, see what resources make sense for you, and of course, visit our website to see if you can find additional resources through the My Personalized Offerings tool.
That website, of course, consumersenergy.com/assistance. You can also find a link to that website on wbtownship.org. Tori, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
That's right, and you can get more information on the resources provided by Consumers Energy directly on their website, cmsenergy.com. The letter C, cmsenergy.com. Despite common beliefs, suicide rates in the U.S. are actually lowest during the winter and holiday season. Instead, the highest rates typically occur in late spring and early summer, with May often ranking as the peak month. June, July, and August often fall among the top months for suicide nationwide as well. We talked to Carrie Krawick, therapist for Birmingham Maple Clinic, to give us more of a professional point of view on this very important topic. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, so this was an extremely interesting piece of information that I saw myself once we decided to share this story. But I'm glad that we have you here to talk about it. Spring and early summer have some of the highest suicide rates. Why do you think these warmer months trigger mental health crisis for many?
There are a lot of explanations, but it was very shocking news to me, too. One thing we have known is that violent crime goes up in the summer, and in ways, suicide is an act of violence against yourself. So there might be some explanation there, but the science says that this holds across many different countries and parts of the world. And the explanations aren't totally known, but they're looking at some biological explanations, like perhaps the temperature increases, changes in the body, changes in our neurotransmitters that might cause depression to peak. Even allergens and seasonal allergies may cause inflammation in the body, which we know inflammation can impact depression, anxiety, impulsivity.
Really?
Of course, in the summer and the lighter days, we feel more energy and we may be out more and up more and using more energy. Even certain occupations, farming, for example, is going to be peak busyness in the summer. So that may cause some stress, but also some toll on the mind and body. Comparing ourselves to other people, or even comparing ourselves to how we think we should be feeling.
Yep.
If we say, oh my gosh, summer, we should be happy in the summer, it's finally spring, we should be happy, and we're not, then that difference between where we think we should be and where we actually are makes us actually feel worse. And then lastly, of course, drinking and drug use in the summer. There's concerts, there's parties, there's lakes, there's camping, there's pools. There's sort of all these environments where maybe people are drinking more or using more recreational drugs that could also be a contributor.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you brought a lot. You brought that into perspective. I'm going to tell you that first and foremost, because at first it kind of threw me off guard, just like you said. But then as you explain the context and the different factors that play into it, it kind of makes sense, unfortunately. Now, I want to kind of look at a different angle. Some of the notes that I have, research shows that adolescents spike in suicidal ideation during fall. Now, how can schools and parents in our community of West Bloomfield better support our students as the school year begins?
Sure. I mean, I think just being aware of this reason, they've been with their cousins or friends that is more casual, and now they're at school and they're feeling the pulls of popularity and that stuff, just kind of recognizing the pressures that are on them and asking your kids, how are they doing? You know, has their friend group changed? Are they feeling left out or excluded? Are they feeling like they're staying on top of their work? And do they feel like they're doing okay with where they want to be? And if they're not where they want to be, what steps or strategies are they taking to get there?
Yeah, it's a lot to consider. I mean, I remember just being a kid and having certain anxiety going from middle school to high school, or from high school to college, and making that transition, let alone just a grade within the same school, you know, middle school or high school, but just making that transition alone, it can be a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations, a lot that we put on ourselves as well. So thank you for the perspective and talking about it from the youth aspect. Now I want to kind of flip it and talk about it from more of an adult and senior base, which we have a lot of right here in our community. What community-based strategies can help lessen isolation for some of our seniors or empty nester adults during these vulnerable moments as well?
Sure. I thought these were such an important question, you know, from an adult. And of course, I mean, seniors perhaps are maybe not as connected via internet and social media and things like that. So when they're isolated, they're very isolated. But I thought in the regard to the risk for people who are potentially suicidal, they are not embedded in a network either socially or otherwise. And our social media networks connect us to people worldwide, but we don't feel that connection locally. Even our Amazon driver isn't the same every single day. Our DoorDash deliverer isn't the same every day. So we don't really have like those like routine touch points we might have had in the olden days to connect with anybody when we're the least likely to connect with anybody. I mean, certainly if you have a relative that's elderly and alone, taking the time to check in on them, reach out, make plans to meet outdoors, do things that we know are good for you. But the people that are the most at risk in our communities are the ones that are not connected really to anybody.
Yeah, and then just like you said before, just to start it off, they're not even really that connected with social media or technology. So that's a way for a lot of the younger adults or younger people to kind of connect with other people that are outside. Even if they're not around them physically, they use social media. But our older adults don't necessarily have that connection. So that's a whole nother level as well. And with me right here live on The Splash, by the way, therapist from Birmingham Maple Clinic, we have Carrie Craywick just talking about how suicidal rates usually spike during the spring and early summer months and how we can actually combat that as well. Now, from your expertise, how do you feel like, or how can local employers, health providers, or even some of these park partners right here in our community work together to enhance the mental health safety net during these summer months?
Sure, I definitely think just being informed of the signs and symptoms, recognizing if someone's, you know, oversleeping, overeating, or undersleeping, or undereating, if they're, you know, seem to be intoxicated at work, or if, you know, you're noticing any changes in their activity level, all of those things would be signs. And I mean, like, ultimately, I always inform people, you know, if you have the thought that somebody could be suicidal, certainly ask them outright, are you feeling suicidal? Like, are you feeling okay? Are you feeling safe? And if they say, like, if you're at risk of hurting yourself, be confident to ask, have you thought about what you would do to hurt yourself? Do you have a plan? And if they have a plan, ask them if they intend to act on it. If they're answering yes to these questions, this is a person in very high risk. Right. But the biggest way to be helpful to them is to ask them. Often getting that information out can relieve the situation, just knowing someone cares enough. But then certainly taking the steps to say, let's call 911 and have you evaluated, or let's call this crisis hotline and together and see if we can get you the resources you need. But it really just starts with asking those bold questions directly.
100%. And, you know, hopefully you have a connection with someone that, you know, you feel comfortable asking, and they feel comfortable enough answering as well. So that's a situation that we're talking about in most cases as well. Now, I want to get to a situation you were talking about with the energy increase and dealing with that. For someone who isn't experiencing this increased energy during these warmer months, how can your clinic personally actually help channel that energy into something positive?
I think something that's so interesting, right, especially like we said, summer is a time where maybe we feel more agitated, but the truth is that excitement, agitation, and anxiety are very closely related in our body. They all kind of feel the same. We get a little kind of jolted up. Emotional regulation is about the ability to calm down. So it's okay to have feelings and to get up or down about anything, but we always need to be able to restore normalcy. And so therapists are great. Talk therapy and talking to someone is great for helping to restore a normal mood. Certainly other activities like journaling or, taking walks outdoors, deep breathing exercises, and therapists can really look at a person's life and say, wow, these are really the skills that you have available to you. And let's see if we can use them or apply them when your mood is changing in a way that's unpleasant and unchecked.
Okay. I love the information and how you're providing context. And we don't have too much more time right here, but just to kind of pick your brain, anything that you've personally been seeing as far as trends in Greater West Bloomfield, or is there anything that we should all look out for in regards to signs to our neighbors and family members right here in Greater West Bloomfield that they may be looking for some type of help?
Yeah, I think the trends that we're seeing societally are happening here in West Bloomfield and are happening statewide and nationwide, perhaps even worldwide, is that a lot of stuff related to social comparison. So like if you in the summer, you're thinking everybody's on these great vacations and I'm at work and that makes you feel miserable, that's going to contribute to depression. Or if you're a young kid starting school and you're saying, wow, everybody is friends and I don't have any or something. If you're always looking to other people to compare where you think you should be at, you're going to often find yourself feeling miserable, especially since everybody puts the Facebook favorites up instead of what's really going on in their lives. So we're probably not doing enough to realize that most of us have highs and lows in our life, and it's not just everybody else's highlight reel and yours is all the downside. And we see that year round, whether it's at the holidays and it looks like other people are spending more money, or it's at Valentine's and someone has a better relationship. So those things happen year round where these events trigger this social comparison that's really inaccurate, and people really feel a lot of shame that's so unnecessary. The other thing I think is a societal concern is that there are people who are like not really connected in their community. They're getting their groceries delivered, they're getting DoorDash, they're not really going outdoors and doing healthful activities. They're not really encountering other people in face-to-face life. They're doing their work via Zoom, they're maybe doing their therapy via Zoom, and just like those will be the hardest people to connect with, as a society. But those are the people that are probably the deepest need and the most vulnerable.
Yes, yeah. And then even when you get a DoorDash or something like that, you have the option to not even meet the person dropping that off. Just leave it at the door, and I'll come out there, and you just go away. So I mean, I get it to a certain extent, but those are great different factors that we all need to consider when we're maybe evaluating ourselves or others that we love. But we want to thank you so much again for your time and your information. Once again, therapists from Birmingham Maple Clinic, Carrie Krawick, we appreciate you again.
Thank you so much.
And we speak with many local healthcare professionals who provide great information on other essential subjects. To check out our other interviews about health, go to civiccentertv.com and click on the On Demand tab for more. Larry Pliska, founder of West Bloomfield-based Plantera, was inducted into the International Plantscape Hall of Fame for his pioneering work in interior landscaping. We actually had a chance to speak with Mr. Pliska to get his initial reactions to being recognized for this award. We appreciate you for being here.
Yeah, hi. Nice to be here.
Thank you so much. First and foremost, congratulations on your honor, sir. What does it mean to you to be inducted into the International Plantscape Hall of Fame?
It was a very humbling, unexpected award, and it's the gratitude that I have. It's reflecting 50 years of passion and love for what I do.
And how do you feel like this recognition ultimately reflects your entire journey that you've had with your establishment, Plantera?
How does it reflect? It just the acknowledgement of recognition is nice to see, and it's nice to have. And like I said, it's totally unexpected. I wasn't planning on even being inducted into the Hall of Fame. But they do this once a year and for the industries. It's called the Tropical Plant Industry the United States, and actually it's international too. So it is a pretty good size, big deal to be inducted.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I want you to kind of take us back to the story, the beginning. What inspired you to even start Planterra in, from what I'm seeing, 1973, and talk about some of the challenges you faced while growing it.
Well, you know, I was a draftsman working for the auto company, drawing cars when I was a young guy, and when I graduated from school. And the technology called the CAD system took my job away, so I was no longer a draftsman. So I took a trip to the tropics, and I fell in love with plants. And that started my career. And the challenges weren't immediately recognized because the beauty of the plants, they sold themselves. But I certainly found out and realized how important it was to listen to my customers, to provide good service to them, the best service that I could do.
Well said. Well said. And that just speaks to, you know, how you were recognized for your work and your passion, and how you shifted your careers. You know, that could have been a downfall for a lot of people, but you chose to take another direction based on your interests, and you just organically flowed to this, and that's a beautiful thing. I want you to just briefly speak on how West Bloomfield has influenced the growth and success of Planterra over the years.
Well, West Bloomfield has always been a great growth community. And the location that we are in right now was previously called Walled Lake. The original greenhouses and farm was built by the Johnson family in the 1940s. And I purchased the property back in the 1980s. And the place, you know, this environment has good positive energy and good vibes. And so that's how my company grew once we got established.
Yes, essentially the support from the local community. You also putting your love and your passion out there for people to gravitate towards it and also be interested in it, and to also, you know, hire you for your services as well in their homes, in their business. Speaks volumes. With us right here live on The Splash, owner of Planterra West Bloomfield, Larry Pliska, talking about being inducted into the International Plantscape Hall of Fame. Now, I don't want to hold you up too much longer, sir, but I do want to speak on this. Planterra is now a family-run business. What does it mean to you to see your sons continuing your legacy?
Well, first of all, I'm very proud of both of my sons, Shane and Zach. They're running the family business, and they're doing a great job. And they're bringing, you know, they're providing healthy environments for our customers, which brings in fresh air, fresh breathing air, gives you good thoughts, and it provides positive outcomes of our business. There's also, you know, a spiritual sense of dealing with plants, and you know, a lot of people don't realize that our economy depends on the very ecology it's threatening to destroy. And society depends on a healthy economy, but a healthy economy depends on a healthy environment. So I've been saying this for 40 years, that the environment and health go together. And the environment is very important for us to continue our existence. So yeah, I have a lot of gratitude for my two sons that are taking over the company. And when we did the Renaissance Center, the tranquility of nature can provide us peace in our caverns of concrete and steel. And that was inspired by being inside the Renaissance Center. With all the trees that we put in, we had the flying trees, and this was back in the 70s. It was the largest interior installation of plants in the United States at the time.
Wow.
So you know, so the future of Planterra, I think includes the growing and continue of providing beautiful environments. I mean, that's what motivated me in the first place.
Right.
Because I was just doing what I love to do, creating a nice environment for people and healthy environments with great plant designs. And throughout the metropolitan area, you'll see atriums that I planted back in the 80s and the 90s, and they're still functioning, they're still alive. We service them all. And we were one of the first companies in Michigan to start this business of interior landscaping.
Nice. Congratulations for being a pioneer in that lane and in our area and doing great work. Any last messages or words or notes for the community before we let you go, sir?
Just the fact that nature is part of our being, and we need to incorporate it as often as we can. That's about it, you know, just live plants and interiors. Like I said, help you breathe better and help you think better, which equals good actions.
Right.
So your reaction to good actions, you know, good actions are inspired by living in a healthy environment.
Well said.
I don't know, that's the best way I could say it.
No, I think that was perfect. And we want to thank you again for adding that new point of view to life and talking about the importance of plants. And congratulations again for being inducted into the International Plantscape Hall of Fame. Once again, owner of Planterra West Bloomfield, Mr. Larry Pliska. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
And keep up with Civic Center TV on all digital platforms. On Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, YouTube, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at Civic Center TV. And you can catch up with all of our latest stories, including the one we did inside Planterra Conservatory, on our website, civiccentertv.com. My name is Kevin McIntosh. Appreciate you for watching and listening. We are live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.